And if I press the go live, we should be live. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's just wait a little bit, like maybe 5 minutes. Gonna get some analytics. And let me see. Oh, why is this reading like a class already? That's wrong. Okay. So, this is the control panel. So there's like a in no chat. Oh, weird. I'll just wait for 3 minutes, and we can start. Hopefully, ducking. Oh, okay. Okay, it's been 3 minutes, and we can start actually. Alright, so welcome back to the stream. This is going to be another build stream, and today we'll be building another desktop for one of my other friends as well. So let's just go through the parts that we have here. So today we will have in Intel i5 14600KF. So this one doesn't come with a integrated GPU. So that's why we also have a dedicated graphics card, which is a Galax 3060. This is the 12 gigabytes version. And for the main board, we'll be using the Gigabytes Aorus Z790 Elite AX. And this is the DDR5 version, which will be paired with the G.Skill S5. I guess it's more for Intel RAMs. This is the 32 gigs kit, so it's 16 times 2. And I'll be using the contact frame because the Intel platform has some issues with some what's that called, pressure contact with the heatsink, and the heatsink will be using the Thermalright's Peerless Assassin 120 SE. We'll be also installing the NM790 from Lexa. This is a 1TB Gen 4 SSD NVMe. And for the power supply, we'll be using the Seasonic Vertex, which has support for ATX 3.0 and PCIe 5.0 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and this boasts a 12 years warranty, which is pretty good. And for the case, we'll just be using the TechWare's Nexus Air Pro if I'm not wrong. Yeah, kind of forgotten the name, but I'll post it in the stream description later. So without further ado, I'll just clean up the table, and then we'll go through all the stuff that, well, I have to do basically. Right. Okay. So being different from the previous stream that I had before, you guys will not be seeing my face, or at least I can just, you know, pop down and do that thing. Because the build will be around here, so the focus should be on the table itself. Right. So this is my mouse to control the stream with. Trying to speed run this thing as soon as possible. Okay, so starting with the main thing here. So I just want to go through the case a little bit because I just want to set it up so that I can use it later when I'm installing like all the other components, right? So first things first, I'm just gonna kind of dismantle this thing so that this is lighter when I'm actually going to install the parts in. Right, so okay. Right, this is the tempered glass version. They also have a version without the glass itself. Right, so removing as many panels as I can so that I can reduce the weight. So front panels out, then the next one should be the back panel. Okay. And this thing actually comes with a detachable front panel, which kind of requires some strength to pull out from below. Alright, there we go. So this front panel boasts a mesh design so that you can actually clean it with like brush from the front or maybe a brush at the back, and it's easy cleaning for any users out there. And also at the same time, this case actually comes with 4 fans included already. So 3 at the front, there are 120mm fans, and 1 at the back, which is also a 120mm fan. Yeah. Okay. Although I have to say, looking at the parts behind, the fans actually come with the Molex connector, which they kind of chained up all of here. Yeah, I don't really like this because it doesn't really come with PWM fans, so it's only the touch one. So there's only a 3-pin fan connector over here, and usually we would like to connect these to the motherboard itself. So the Molex one will just be left dangling somewhere, which is kind of unsightly. Okay, so yep, it also comes with a hard disk cage, which is easily installed by this, you know, this 4 screws down here. So basically, you remove the screws, you slot in the cage at the bottom deck over here, and then you screw it from the bottom of the case just to secure it. But we are not installing any hard disk today, so I will not be installing this. Right, and at the same time, we also have the top fan filters, which is magnetic and removable, so it slaps onto any metal on the casing itself. Yeah, so to clean this, easy, you can run it through water. I don't think this is metallic. This feels kind of plasticky, so yeah, you can totally run this through water and leave it there to dry before you attach it back on. Right, so okay, at the bottom you can see that there's also like the mesh filters over here, which is easily removable. Just remove it, I suppose. It's being secured by these flaps over here, so you can just slot it in whenever. And this is the same plastic as used in the top mesh. So run it through water just to clean it, and make sure it's dry before you slot it back in. Easy. Right, so with that out of the case, it also comes with all the screws and stuff, which I will not be going through now. I'll be going through that later once I get everything else done. Right, so okay. Right, so this case also comes with two USB 3 ports. Doesn't come with any USB-C. Well, comes with the audio and mic separated, and USB 3.0, yes, and buttons on the side, and that's about it. And yeah, so we'll leave this on the side so that we can concentrate on the real things here, right? So what we need power. Right, so let's open this thing. Okay, I know some of you will hate that plastic sound, but we're gonna only do it once, because this is the only one which I left the plastic packaging on. Right, so we got power, and let's have a look at this. Alright, Seasonic as usual comes with the $50. Let me see if I can get that like correct. Yeah, Steam gift, which we will not be applying for. Manuals, zip ties, and Velcro, which is much appreciated. Right, and everything comes in a bag actually. So this is the power supply itself. It comes in a black bag. Right. Maybe my choice of clothing is a little bit off because it's black on black. But oh well. So this is a fully modular power supply. It doesn't come with any attached cables. Plug in whatever you need. Stuff like that. Right. So I'm just gonna put this on the side and take out the 3-pin power adapter so that we can plug it in later. Let me see. The cables also come in a bag, and within the bag there's more bags. So it comes in two sections. One will be the more common ones. These are peripherals, and these are your main power and your CPU power, your graphics card, and yeah, it's all the power cables. Right, so we know that we kind of need some of them. So let's just take out the stuff that we actually need for now. Cool. I'll just put this aside. Woo! Speed run. Okay, should have taken a scissors. Alright. Alright, tidy. Okay, this is the 24 pin to the motherboard. We need one for the CPU, or maybe we need two actually. And I'll explain why a little bit later. We need one for the PCIe, so this is all we need from this bag. And let me see, probably we don't need anything else here because these are mostly for, let me see, for SATA connectors and also Molex connectors. So we are not installing any hard disk. We are not installing anything that requires a Molex connector, so we don't actually need to open this. Right. So let's just put everything back. Everything's tidy. put those. Alright, so put it back in the bag. Keep the knife, safety. Right, let's not touch the GPU first. Let's just open up the motherboard. Right, invoices and stuff. Okay, right. So how I like to do this, like everything else, is to take out the main board, check what we actually need below. Probably we don't need a lot of stuff. This is a replacement thermal pad for SSD, if I'm not wrong. But never mind. Right. So the cool thing about Gigabyte is that it comes with this like little adapter, right? So that you can plug in all the front panel I/O into the board before you actually plug it directly into the board. So this is like a little adapter thingy that is very convenient. So you just plug into this, and then you don't really have to like replug each and every header. This is much appreciated, right? It also comes with Wi-Fi. I won't be using it today because I don't want to install the software and extend the stream for another 3 hours or something. Comes with 2 standard SATA data cables. This is like the standard for all motherboards. We won't be using this because we are not installing any SATA devices, right? And it comes with a quick start guide of sorts. I don't really need this, but okay. Great for first time users, I suppose. Right. Okay, what I like to do is to work on everything on top of the box, because the box is soft and it's way better than working on a hard surface. Right, slow. So the cool thing about static bags is that it's actually quite nice to keep in case if you want to resale the board or you want to keep any like electronic components into it. Use this as a base. We can set this up. Oh, everything's black, nice. Can't see anything. Okay, so there are a few things that we can actually start to install on the spot. So one meaning the CPU, which is there, the contact frame, which I will do like something over here. We can install the RAMs as well. We can install the heatsink, and we can also install the graphics card. So just to have everything here, and if there's any issues, we can debug on the spot before we actually put it into the case itself. So that will save us a lot of hassle, and we can also install the SSD as well. Alright, so let's start by installing the SSD because it's under this massive heatsink. Screwdriver. Screws are a little bit smaller on the thing. Let me see. We have to install it on the first one, which is this, so I don't really have to remove this, so I guess that's a good thing. Nope, not yet. Okay, so it comes with this massive heatsink. Usually for Gen 4 M2 SSDs because the controller really gets kind of hot, and you know you might need this to cool down your SSD, right? Jesus. From the looks of it, it also comes with a bottom back plate for SSDs as well. As you can see down here, I'll just pull it out. Don't know whether I can pull this up or not. Right, so this is like a bottom back plate for the SSD. It's just to cool down the back. So this goes in the back, this goes in the front. Not rocket science, right? So everything comes with a thermal pad that I will have to remove before installing the SSD itself. Right. Jesus. My stream setup cave. Let me get you guys back on track again. Oh my god, this is like so freaking messy right now. Okay. I got it. Okay, cool. I kind of need to readjust the mic because the mic kind of fell. Let me just readjust. I wonder if this is okay to be like this. I'm working on a better setup, but I'm still getting the parts, so that will take a while. Maybe in the next stream things will be more stable, literally. Alright, so maybe I'll just leave the mic here or something. Okay, this looks stable. So this looks more stable than previously, I suppose. Alright, let me readjust you guys. Much more on the table. Can't trust table plans these days. Okay, back on the table. Very good. Holy crap. Righto. I'm working with limited space right here. This is insane. Alright, where were we? SSD. Whew. Alright, comes with the manual. Okay. Let me put back the back plate first. Because it's being attached by like a screw. So let's keep this in here. Technically you don't really have to remove this backplate, but I just removed it just to show you guys what it is. Okay, it's back in place. Very good. Fixing the SSD. Make sure everything is back in their own plane. Manual goes behind. And we can keep this box already. Pretty good. Oh. Alright, let's remove the speaker right here, the film. not sticker. Okay. Insert it at an angle and then we press down with the quick detach. Okay. This is very interesting because the SSD is not touching the bottom heatsink, so I guess it's because there's no, there's no modules down here, so it doesn't really contact. Let me see if I can. No, I shouldn't force it. So for this case, since this is not like touching anything on the bottom heatsink, I would like to put back the film so that it's not that dirty. When it really comes to cleanliness, right, this is actually quite important. But putting down a film is actually quite hard, especially once you rip it off. Okay, I managed to get it back down. Okay. Alright, so this is something to note. If, say, for example, in the future, if we are going to upgrade this, we have to remove the film below, and let me just push out the air bubbles. Okay, because thermal have this property that is kind of sticky. So if, let's say for example, in this case, if we are not really touching anything on the SSD, it would attract dust. And if in the future, if you really want to install an SSD with the back modules, you'll be interfacing it with dust, and that's not really that ideal. So we'll just leave the pad in and slot the SSD in again at an angle. Then we go down. Gigabyte has this cool new thing, which is the quick detach thingy, that we don't have to use any screws to attach the SSD onto the board itself. Right. So the next one, which is actually important, is the top heatsink, which we confirm will be touching the SSD. So this is actually crucial that we remove this. Right. So this goes on the top, and it goes down, and we're gonna screw it in. Right. And obviously, like for SSD, since it's a very small component, you probably won't see what's the difference with where's the SSD and stuff like that, because it's under the heatsink and it is kind of small and mostly covered by, like I said, heatsinks. Right. So next one, we can install the CPU first, because the CPU is a little bit involved, because I want to install this contact frame right here, just to spread out the pressure on the heatsink to the CPU evenly, right? Because Intel has this issue with the CPU holder right here. Let me take this off. Is that once the I'll show you guys in a bit, but I need to remove this first. Right. But the problem is that with the I kind of need the top screw. Let me see if they provide it. Right, nice. Right. The good thing is that they provided the driver here, so they can remove it. It's not your standard Phillips. It's a star wrench. Right. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is picking up, but it's a star. Yeah. So it's not your standard like Phillips. Right, so let's remove this. The important part is that we are just removing the top latch here, and we're not removing the backplate. I can show you the backplate in a bit after I remove this. And as I understand from this, we are to reuse back the screws over here. Okay. Okay. Alright, so time to show you guys the problem. Okay, so this is the. Let me pop this up. Do remember for any like LGA motherboards, please do keep the cover for the CPU socket. This is required for RMA. Right. Okay. So moving on. Right. So this is the problem with the CPU socket. So I don't really know what this thing called, but I'm just gonna call this like a retainment thingy. Yeah. So the pressure is being applied on this both sides, and as you can see on the CPU itself, it has this like wings on the side that this too will be pressing down on, and with that it's causing uneven pressures all around the CPU. So when you put the heatsink down, some will be higher, some will be lower. So with the contact frame, it kind of solves that issue by pressing along the edges of the whole CPU so that you can have equal pressure basically. So yeah, and this is why I chose the contact frame, because it's kind of needed, I suppose, to have good cooling. Right, simple piece of metal just to hold the CPU in place, nothing too fancy. Right, and this fits just around the socket itself. I'm not supposed to install this in first. I'm supposed to install the CPU first, in case if you guys are wondering. Right, so let's get this baby out. Since this is the K version of the CPU, it doesn't really come with any heatsinks, so we have to provide our own, which we are. Alright, so put this back down. Comes with the Intel sticker on the back with the manual. Okay. And we need the plastic actually. So I'll leave this aside once I install everything. Okay. 14600F. Okay. Light is pretty strong, so you guys won't be able to see this anyways. Right, so that's the, let me see, there's a correct way to put this in, and it's rectangular, so it's even easier actually. LGA. Okay, goes right side up. There's also like a arrow on the side, so that you can align. It also aligns with the arrow on the CPU itself. It's on one of the edges. So just align the arrows. You can't go wrong with that, right? So contact frame goes on top, and I will slowly tighten everything using the screws just now. Okay, so let's go in a. Okay, I'm not gonna over tighten this yet. I want to have even pressure all around, so just start to tighten each and every one of them slowly. Okay, now we're good. Then I can show you guys what's the difference after I keep some of the stuff here, I suppose. Right. So we need to retain these latches somewhere. I'm just gonna put them back into the box itself for easy safekeeping, because technically it comes with the board. So if you want to say RMA the board, you need to install this back in. I'll keep all the tools all inside the box, so it's convenient. Okay. This also comes with a thermal paste, which I won't be using because I feel that their thermal paste is a little bit more gooey and sticky, which I don't really like. That's why I'll be using my own Arctic MX4. Alright, so let's keep this in a bit. Okay, alright, so to show you guys what's the difference. As you can see, right, so the contact frame will secure the CPU like all around. Good angle, yeah. So you don't see like the two latches on the side. It just goes around and then gives it an even pressure, push down the CPU onto the board itself. So with that done, we are going to install the heatsink. Right, actually, let me see, because I haven't been seeing any chat. Okay, no chat. Good. Okay. Alright, what's next? Wait up while I keep some stuff. I don't like to have stuff all around. This is just so that everything is accounted for and we don't lose anything. So accountability is important. Righty tighty. How are we doing on time? Oh, nice. I got all this done like less than an hour. That's very fast. Right. Okay, time to install this. Maybe I'll put this aside. Right. The cooler comes with a box that I will need because it has all these screws and stuff for different platforms, and it comes with 2 fans. Okay, which I can install it later, so that's not a big issue. And then the main heatsink itself is a dual tower, and the important thing to note is, let me just take this up just to show you guys, because this seems to be a common problem with people because they didn't realize. Right. So the issue here is that the heatsink is asymmetrical. I mean, it's kind of symmetrical here, but it's asymmetrical sideways, right? So you can either have a top bias or a bottom bias. It's supposed to go in like this, not the other way around, because that will heat your rear IO or hit your RAMs or whatnot. Yeah, so it's supposed to go like this or like this. So it really depends on whether you want it to be like biased towards the bottom of the board or biased towards the top. I personally would prefer bias towards the top because you don't lose access to your SSD. Makes sense, right? Right. So this is something to note. I mean, it's, you know, whoever's watching the stream, I suppose, and using this thing. Good to know. Good to know. Right. So we'll leave this on the side for now. Silica gel. Instruction manual will get us through what do we actually need to install it for the Intel platform. We are on the Intel 1700, so instructions should be here. Alright. Okay. Wonder if there's any like English. Yeah, we got the English one. Right, so yes, it has more accessories than the OG one. Okay. The original PA120 doesn't really come with a support for the newer platforms because it was released kind of old, kind of long time ago. So there's actually more stuff in this box as compared to last time. So we kind of need the retention hooks for the fans. We'll be installing later. So keep it there. We also, oh, this is kind of neat. We have a fan joiner. That's back of that. Right. Let me see if yeah. So basically connects the two of the fans into just one header itself. Don't think we kind of need it. We have enough ports on the top, so it's fine. We don't really need this. It's just a cool neat thing that we have. We are getting the spacers for the 1700 platform. Let's go. And we need the backplate for 1700 as well. It will be this. And what kind of screws do we need? We need I and E. This feels more and more like a IKEA build it yourself kind of thing, which is pretty good. Good instructions, goes a long way. E is the straight one. Alright. I is Intel screw 4. I guess all the Intel screws are all the same, which means I have to take it from the other bag. Ah, I see. It's a conjoined bag. 2 bags. That's one pack. Okay. Okay, so that's all I need. I need another these 2 brackets. The straight ones. And that should be all. Yeah, that should be all. Good. We need the screws from here, so I'm just going to cut a little slit just to access it. Or technically you can just open the bag. That will release everything, so I don't really want to do that. Okay. Cut a little hole, get all the screws up. One. Actually, I can just get everything out and just take the screws and go get everything else. Because one of the screws is stuck on the standoffs. That's making my life a little bit difficult. Okay, time to put back the standoffs. Okay, and we're kind of done with like the stuff we have to take from this bag. Okay. The good thing about this is that it comes in a little like neat box here. Technically you can just keep the box, and if you want to throw everything else away, I guess that's fine because it's just foam and, you know, manuals. You can even fit the manual inside the box if you want. Yeah, really neat. Let me stick this back in again. Okay, we kind of need the box later to store the plastic and stuff. So let me put this on one side. Our box is done. Woo. Okay, we kind of need to install the back plate first. It is symmetrical. Good. Comes with tape so that it, you know, adheres to the back of the board, I suppose. Right. I guess it kind of works. If we put it down like that, it will attach to the back plate of the socket. Yeah. So to show you guys, right, just now I was saying there's a back plate thingy for the CPU socket. Yeah. So it's just back here. You don't really need to remove this for the installation of the contact frame. So this one will go like this. So we'll stick to the back plate, and you know, it'll be stable. So okay, I don't really need to apply that much of pressure because once we put down the board, the whole board will be resting on this anyways. And then that will give us enough pressure to press down the tape. The tape is just to, you know, prevent it from slipping while we're installing everything else. Let's see. Plastic. See if I'm missing any steps in. No, I'm not. Good. If you guys haven't noticed, I've yet to, you know, apply the thermal paste because I'm still installing this like frames and stuff. Okay, install the standoffs. You know, on the standoffs, there's like little tiny wordings on the top. You guys can't see this on this like webcam, but it's written like 1700. So if you're installing on a 1700, make sure you have the 1700 one. On the back plate, that is also stated it's for 1700, so you can't screw this up. Pretty good. Supposed to install this like this, and like this. But wait, we need to check because the screw points is, no, it's not supposed to be like that. So the socket for the fan is square. I mean, yeah. So you can either put it in like this, which is kind of wrong because you're trying to fit these two screws on the middle of this bracket. So if you put it on like this, you'll be essentially putting the heatsink like this, which I have already said is kind of wrong. You're supposed to put it in like this or like this. So the orientation is like 90 degrees. So that we need to change, and we need to put it like that and like that, so that the heatsink can sit like this, or well, 180 degrees. Anyways, let's screw this in. Keep my knife. Choo 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 choo. Is there a precaution? It's the middle one. On the instruction manual, because the holes on the bracket is not really like just one hole. So there's an actual spot where we need to screw in just to get it right for the 1700, which is the middle one. Okay, I'm now gonna tighten that all the way. Let me secure the other side first, because the holes actually give us some kind of play. So let's just not lock it in once we get the positioning correct first. Okay, so they're not tight yet, so I'm gonna do the other side before I tighten everything. And so this is why I don't install the RAMs first, because I have more space to play with. And also at the same time I don't install the graphics card because, you know, that would be obviously blocking my ease of access. Alright. Okay, time to tighten everything. Good. Good. Okay, so this is the important part. I will have to install the heatsink, which means thermal paste application. Important. We can keep this already. Okay. So one of my favorite thermal paste compound is the Apex MX4. So this thing is a little bit more liquid as compared to other thermal pastes. Because I don't really like the gooey and sticky ones, because that will mean that it's harder to spread, and you know, you will have problems after that, and it sticks to everything. And for my application technique, I would prefer to spread them out myself before I apply the heatsink itself. But first, I like to clean the surface a little bit. We're using some alcohol. This is 99% alcohol, so supposedly just, you know, evaporate. Okay, looks clean enough. Or not, I'm seeing some stuff on the top of the CPU. Let me just get a tissue. Right. Alcohol again. And then wipe. The good thing about alcohol is that it evaporates, so it's not like water, and you know, it doesn't make sense for you to use water next to electronic components anyways. Right. So now that we have this cleaned, we can apply the thermal paste. I give it a good healthy amount. Okay, suck it back in. Not sure whether this is enough, but we'll spread it and we'll find out. Now that with the contact frame, right, I'm kind of like more confident in spreading this around, because I won't be spreading this to like the side of the CPU and making a mess. I can just spread it to the side and then it touches the contact frame. I mean, I can clean the contact frame when I take this out, but probably we're not gonna take this out anymore once we put down the heatsink. So either ways, it's still a massive win because it's easier to clean and it doesn't cost that much of a mess. If, like, let's say for example, if you're going for an upgrade and if you want to sell this to another guy, you know, it keeps things clean basically, right? Okay, I might need a little bit more. Let me see if I can spread this around enough, because technically once the cooler is down and a pressure is applied, they should flow properly. Okay, now that everything is spread out pretty nicely, and I do have some extra on the little piece of paper cardboard over here, I'm just gonna spread it down here. Do take note that for heatsinks like this, they always come with a plastic film, so you really have to let them out before you actually apply them, or else you'll face heating issues with your CPU. I don't really have to clean this because it's under a sticker. Alright, that's the rest of the Timer page. Alright, so like I said, I want to install this like this side so that it's more biased to the top. Right. And if you guys want to see like what's my spread, basically like this. So it's a thin spread around the CPU, and then once the heatsink goes down, it's supposed to touch everything anyways. So let's install this baby. We need to align it to the two screws that are on the side. These things are actually spring loaded, so sometimes it's a little bit hard to push down on the other side, but the trick is to secure it a little bit on one side and then screw in on the other side. And since the thermal paste is a little bit liquidy, this thing is a little bit sliding here and there, but it's not that much of a problem once you have secured it. Basically helps to spread the thing around. And if I'm not wrong, I'm supposed to bottom out the screw over here and then move on to here. Then move on back to here. Back to here. Okay, now that's done. Okay, this side is also a little bit done. Okay, right, so heatsink's installed. We done it, baby. Right, fans. This is like the easiest part of the whole installation. No, no rocket science. There's only one thing to note, which is install the RAMs before you install the fans, because the fans is gonna sit on top of the RAMs. Yes, but I can install the middle one first, and then we'll see what's what. Okay, the fan headers are a little bit short, but it's working to our advantage because we don't really have to travel that far. All we need is some play so that we can insert it like this. So I know this position already works. I just need to bend the cable a little bit so that it fits nicer. Jesus. Nope, that's the wrong orientation. Right orientation. Right. Okay, so in case if you guys don't know how like these fans are being connected to like the heatsink, this is basically this kind of hooks. So there's some indents on the side of the heatsink. You can see there are some like teeth over here on both sides. So basically these hooks, they hook onto the fan. I can show you guys. So it hooks on, so the hooks are here. So it hooks on the mounting holes. And then you have this like little hook over here. I'll show you, you guys can see it. Yeah. And then these hooks will hook onto these like, you know, cutouts on the side of the heatsink. Yeah, it's purely kind of mechanical, I suppose. It's not rocket science, guys. But do make sure that your orientation of your fans is correct. One easy way to tell whether the orientation is correct is you see the fan, you know, you see the frame over here. There's one side with the frames, there's one side without. Usually the side with the frame is where the fan output will be going. So this is the intake, and then this is the exhaust. So if you want the fan to blow like this side, this is the correct way, right? Frame out. Basically that's all. So we want the fan to go, the fan intake to come from here, and then exhaust at the back. So we'll place it as such. So the frame is gonna face the back, so that it can, you know, channel the airflow. So let's just install this. I need to put in the hooks first on both sides because the middle one is a little bit restricted. Right. Then we slot it down. And I want to make sure that it is level because I'm a little bit OCD. Okay, I wanted to extend a little bit on the top. Okay, this is placeholder. Okay. Usually when the clamps clamp onto the heatsink itself, it will kind of like mangle some of the heat plates. What do they call this? The heat spreader plates or what? Fins, yes, heatsink fins. So I like to adjust that as well so that it doesn't like split open. I need to make sure that both sides is also on the same level. The OCD is real. Alright. Okay. Looks good. So now we have the cable going down from here. We just need to connect it down here to the board. And we're good to go for this fan. Let me keep the plastic. We also have another fan which is attached to the front, which I will have to install the ramps before I get to this. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, let's close off my thermal paste. Put it back to the box. With the extra cardboard here for application. And we're done with this. And we're also done with the cooler, technically. Let me see if I missed out anything. No! Good. Alright. Okay, less and less stuff on the table already. That's pretty good. Let's see. RAMs, yes. Bottom memory, bro. The casing, or at least the container for the RAMs from G.Skill is a little bit tight from experience. So I have to pop them out. Oh wow! The DDR5 ones are not as tight as compared to the DDR4 ones. They easily pop out. Easy. You know, I'm really like reconsidering my clothing options because now it's black on black and you guys can't see like most of the stuff on the table here. It's insane. Okay, let me put it back to the box. I want to keep everything like neatly. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Good thing about Gigabyte is that it most likely will write what is the first one for slotting in the RAM. So it's the second channel and then the fourth one. Orientation wise, this is the correct one. Usually when there's a serial number, it faces the inside because I guess optics. Then you want to see like, oh, this is the RAM from the outside. So it's a pretty good indicator of the correct orientation that you guys will be installing this thing in. Right. The teeth should match up. Alright. Checking. Good. Firm clicks. Okay, we got good clicks. So this done. Fan time. We want it to glow like this. So yeah. Basically the same orientation as the middle fan. Let's install this like this. Wait a minute. Leave the cable out. Yeah. So as you guys can see, right, the fans is a little bit. Oh Jesus. Right. So if I put this over here, right? I'm sure if you guys will be able to see it. Lighting. Right. So the fan is actually sitting on the RAMs itself, which is kind of not really ideal. That's why I like to you know, leave a little bit of space in between, just to give it some clearance. Okay, good. Nope, not good. 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 Okay. This is a little bit irritating. Let me route this through the holder to store it better. And then it will come out from the top and it will go into the CPU fan. Alright, so this is the non-RGB version, which I kind of appreciate. I don't really like RGB. Keeps everything clean. As you can see, the whole board, you can take it by the heatsink. Just show you guys around. It's black all around. Neat, clean, no RGB. Very good. Alright, so let me put this back down. And we are kind of going towards testing this thing already. We just need to plug in the power and we are kind of good to go. And I have my little tool over here. Well, for once this is not like fucking black. Yeah, so this is like my little debug tool. It's my little front panel I/O thingy that I created. And this will allow me to plug in into the front panel I/O on the board and start up this thing without the use of, like, you know, screwdrivers. So power supply, important. Kind of need this like that. We need the tripping power. Are we doing good on time? Yes, we are only 1 hour in. And also earlier I've alluded that we kind of need like two CPU power. It is because this board, this board is overclockable, so it will take in, well, it has the capability to take in more power for enthusiasts who really want to overclock their CPUs. Which, let me plug this in and then I'll show you guys on the board. Modular supplies are so convenient these days. Right, so on the board, you guys probably can't see, let me show. Alright, right, see on the top here, or technically the bottom, which is the top of the board, but never mind. There's two 8-pin power sockets over here. This power routes to the CPU to provide it with more power. So if, let's say for example, if you have a high-end CPU that you want to overclock, this will provide enough power to do your insane overclocking. But we're not gonna do that, but I'm still gonna plug those two in, just, you know, it's an auxiliary power supply to the CPU anyway. You don't really need it, it's technically optional, but it's there if you need it, so I like to provide it. Okay, this goes to the CPU, this also goes to the CPU, this one goes to the GPU, which I have yet to install. Ugh, 24 pin all the way in. Make sure that there is no gaps. No gaps. No gaps. Clip is good. The plugs on the cables clearly state that which side goes into where. This one goes into the PSU. The other side will go into the CPU. So that's how I know actually this is for the CPU. And usually the CPU one will be able to be split into two parts, and the GPU technically two parts, but it's not 4-4. The PCIe one will be like 6-2. Okay, right. Yeah, like I said, CPU be able to split into two parts, 4-4 each. Good. Right, so the whole idea of doing it like outside here is just to debug if there's any issues before we put it into the case. Make things easier, makes life easier. Okay, good. I might be noticing a small little problem later that we're gonna face. Two those. Okay. There is no fan header at the back part, so the exhaust fan might be an issue for connection. But don't worry, I have a solution for that. Not a real problem. Yeah, it's all good, man. Okay. And this is for the GPU, which we can technically take it out right now already. The irony of this thing is that this card is used, and it is I mean, on top of being dirty, it is white. That goes on the black ring. Well, at least you guys will be able to see this on my black shirt, I suppose. Right. This should work out of the box as told from the seller. Yeah. Right. So this card only takes in like 8 times power. So that's why I only pulled out like 1 cable for the GPU. Don't really need anything more than that. The power supply is there if there is a need to upgrade. Right, so this is done. Okay, which side? Which side? This side. Okay. I'm basically plugging in the power for the GPU, so you know, it's nothing too insane. Which port goes into here? Let me route it below. Okay, now everything is plugged in. Let me see what orientation do I want this to be, because I have to do some testing and I have to bring up my monitor from below just to test this thing out of the case. Nope. So the good thing about Seasonic power supply is that it comes with a passive and an active mode. You can see this there's like a switch over here that you can depress down or extend out. So the passive mode is basically when it gets hot enough, then the fan will spin. But the active one is that the fans will be spinning 24/7, which I don't really like, because power supplies nowadays are pretty efficient, and you don't really always need the fan to be running. They will have like more dust in here, and as you can see, there's no fan filters on this fan right here. So in the end, you might have like dust bunnies within it, and since this is like the life source of your whole rig, you might have fires inside. So I don't really like running this, running the fan 24/7. Right, so, right. This is where I break out the big boys tools. Okay. So sadly enough, this is my only debugging monitor, and it's a 27-inch. So it's gonna take up a lot of real estate up here. Okay, good. Does this have HDMI? This does. Yeah, I need some HDMI cable. Okay. Okay, screen is on. That's pretty good. And I'll be connecting this little small debugging front I/O thingy. Reset switch plus. Reset. What is the power? Power plus. Do I need the LED? Probably not. I need the buzzer though. Right, so the buzzer will tell me whether there's any like issues in trying to boot this thing up. Okay, buzzer's in. Interesting. Right. Wrigley board. Alright. Then we got the I'll just plug it to the USB 2. USB 2. Got my mouse. Put the USB 2. Okay, switch is off. Switch is off. We are ready to test. Right, ready. Power's on. Power's on. Let's fire this up. Okay, go fan spin. We're getting some lights from the board itself. No beeps though. What's that? What's that? What? What? Ah, yes. Sure. Yeah, Oh, finally booted. Nice. It was boot looping for a little while, so I guess it's like initializing some stuff. So, shit, everything's black. Okay, you guys won't be able to see it because everything is black. Not by my design. Right, where's my mouse? Mouse is not working. I guess I'll have to use the keyboard then. This is gonna look weird coming off the stream, man. It's like me looking at the freaking screen. Desktop's over here. I'm just checking some stuff out. Where's the advanced mode? I always love my advanced mode. DDR5, we got. I need to know what's the BIOS version. BIOS version is FG. That's a little bit weird. I might have to update this into a more recent version, which I would like to do it. Oh, let me see. Right, this thing doesn't really have a BIOS flashback, so it's a good thing that this thing still runs. I just need to update the BIOS. The XMP for the RAM is not applied yet, but all the other stuff looks good. I just need to update it. and that's all. Right, so I have my USB over here, and this should allow me to update the BIOS. There we go. Interesting. Plug it somewhere else, man. Oh wait, it does have a BIOS USB 3, but never mind. Let me see if I can search the BIOS. Memory boot mode, fast boot, CSM. No, I'm not gonna press help. Save and exit over there. Yes. Right. But that was fast. The boot is too fast. Never mind. I can just do QFlash. Note this right now. Oh, the QFlash has to be fine. QFlash have to be in the QFlash port, which means I have to disconnect this and reconnect this. Yeah, there we go. BIOS version FG file task update BIOS. We are updating it to F10 with this. Yes. Okay. We got an ID check error. Okay, I might have to update this my own time then. Jesus. By the way, it runs, so I'm just gonna off this, and then we can put everything back into the case. I mean, not back into the case, but into the case. So now that we have verified that everything is good, I can remove this. I can remove all the peripherals, disconnect everything, and then put everything inside. So this is like the most time-consuming stage of this whole thing. Right, let's clear the table again. Okay, this is off. Yeah, I kind of wish that I have a larger table or a longer table. But space is constrained, man. Space is constrained. Right, this out, and the mouse, which is kind of not functioning. I might have broken my mouse. Right, then we can disconnect all the power. Oh, well, that's a nice feature. Yeah, interesting. Right, so I just found out some nice new features about this board while picking out the graphics card. So the nice little thing is that the GPU release latch, it's kind of extended to the top, so that you don't really have to, you know, reach your finger down all the way. I'll show you guys in a bit, but I need to remove all of this stuff. Right. Well, it's black on black again. Not sure whether you guys will be able to see it. Oh. Yeah. So you guys see the latches on top. So when a card goes in like this, you will still be able to access it since it's up here. So you don't have to, where's the latch? Where's the latch? Yeah. This is quick release. Pretty good. I'm starting to like all these like little new features that were being implemented for ease of use, for upgrading and whatnot. Pretty neat features. Right. So I can put this aside. Technically, I will install the board first before I install the power supply, because this is actually quite a heavy. That's also kind of heavy, but this requires more screws and this is easier to install. So unplug this first, put this aside. Okay. I can put the graphics card aside as well. I can't really show it to you guys because this requires like some kind of close-up thing, but this is actually very filthy, and I might have to clean it. Maybe in like a secondary stream, maybe in the weekends or something. Nice, everything is black and white again. Alright, important stuff. Let's get all the stuff out of the way. It's kind of messy back here. Need some organization. The screws are all here, and this is all like baggy. It also comes with the speaker, so technically I don't really have to supply it with my own. So I can just take this out, plug this in, and we'll have that nice little beep. Yeah. Then again, there's the gigabyte thingy. This is gonna come in handy. So for those of you who like, you know, skip the stream or whatnot, this is the kind of ease of access, what they call. Gigabyte calls it G connector, but it's basically like a little adapter so that you can connect this easily to the board for the front panel I/O. See, yeah. So you plug it into here for all the front panel stuff, and then easily you can just plug it into the board itself. You don't have to go one by one. Oh, what's this? To plug it into the board. Oh my god, there's no space. Yeah. And let me remove something else as well from here. This is supposedly the SSD rack, or well, technically they don't call it. It's not supposed to be SSD. It can be a hard disk drive as well. It's basically a 2.5-inch disk. 2.5-inch drive disk adapter thingy that will attach to the back of the case. But we're not installing any hard disk, so I'm gonna remove this. Right, where's the speaker, man? Okay, so this is done. We'll just put it aside. Put it aside. Then we will clean up what's back here. Yes, this is the perfect time to do the front I/O to the connector, so that we don't have to mess around with it later when we want to plug it in. So right, let me have a look. Hard disk LED, power LED. Plus is usually the one with the arrow. So this goes in like this. Then what are these? Power LED? Power LED plus goes here, everything else goes here. Just on the side of it. There was this power switch channel. Why do they have to name it like this? Oh wait, I plugged it wrongly. Power LED is on the side of the power LED. I mean, power LED is on the side of the power. So power switch wise, what's the arrow? To be honest, I don't really think like there's a difference between the positive and negative, because you're just, you know, completing the circuit. It doesn't really have to care about like positive and or negative, unless if there's like some special stuff that I don't know. then I guess whoever's watching can educate me on this if you guys find out. Alright, the reset switch is inside. There's no chassis intrusion, nor there is another power LED, which is just auxiliary anyways. Okay, so we have the front panel done. We have the USB 3. We have the HD audio. So I'll leave this one side first. This is the troublesome part. And more. And more. Good thing is we have 4 on the bottom, which we can cater to these 3. There's no RGB, which is good. Let me see. Yes, there's 4 ports on the bottom of the board, and we have 4 fans. I don't think this is long enough. It's kinda long enough. It's gonna be unsightly though. But never mind, we will figure it out when we cross that bridge. Okay, the good thing about the TG version, right, the tempered glass version, is that it comes with these rubber grommets. The non-TG one doesn't really come with it. I like these because they don't really allow the dust to come back to the backside. Although this case features a I guess vented shroud, so that air can actually, like, you know, go from the bottom and come up. So either ways it will be dirty all around or dusty all around. So it doesn't really help, but I still like to have the grommets. Because for presentation wise, it looks cleaner in a sense from the front. It's not as messy. So it looks good then, looks good. I don't like the fact that they are routing the fans through these grommets. I like to go through like the side ports here. Although they have the Molex, so it will be a little bit hard to squeeze through. Never mind. Let's not squeeze through this first, because I need to know what's the orientation of these fans. They're not always in the most optimal. Okay. Alright, here goes the board. Easy does it. Right. I want to take out the back fan, the exhaust fan. So sometimes it will obstruct the way I put in the board. So it's best to take it out while I still can. The orientation of the screws, make sure I don't forget. Okay, then I have to remove the cable. Okay, done. Orientation is this way, so let's not do anything. Let me check whether I have all the screws in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we are missing 3. So for you guys who don't know, ATX boards is basically the form factor for the board itself. Requires 9 screws, and then 9 screws and 9 standoffs. So the standoffs are basically you know, the little, like, how can I explain standoffs? It's basically an offset from the board, from the case itself. So it's pre-installed to have 6 of these standoffs, but they're lacking 3 on the side. So I have to install the 3 different standoffs, 3 extra standoffs for the ATX board. And usually they will provide this in like a screw bag thing. So all of it is all in here. I might have to transfer this into like a Ziploc bag of sorts. I think we have multiple Ziploc bags that we can reuse. So it'll be good that we can reuse stuff. Yeah, And usually they also come with this like standoff screw adapter thingy so that you can cup it over the standoffs and then like screw it with regular Phillips. One, two. You know what? I'm just gonna pour everything out. 3, because we also need screws for the motherboard itself. So usually the motherboard screws will be these, and the power supply one we need 4. 4 of these, they are larger threads. Okay, now I'm just sorting stuff. I need 9. So I have 9, 3, 3. I need one more. Yeah, one more. Good. We can keep the rest. Back. Ah! So seeing that this is actually a pretty cheap case, I don't really expect them to have like, you know, good storage solutions for all the screws, but here. So let's install this. ATX should be this, and that. Yes, following the screw holes. I'll just install this. You guys won't be able to see this because it's like, you know, I have to screw it down. Doesn't make sense for me to screw it sideways. Then with the adapter, I will screw it in tightly and just make sure that it's secured basically onto the case. Okay, now that is done, we technically can clear this already. Let me just put it on the side. And this is where we install this. Basically everything. Okay. Okay, one strategy to put in the board, right, is to make sure that it goes in like, you know, butt first, or at least like back first. Because the IO shield is to fit to the back of the case. So you do it like this. Yeah. Well, of course you can't put your fingers like below the board because there's no space. So just ease it in, make sure that it aligns to the back, and then the rest you can just put it on the side of the board and then just push it in. Then make sure that all the holes are being aligned to the standoff so that you can screw it in. And everything should be secure after that. Okay, just making sure that everything is inside. I'm not gonna tighten everything down all the way through. I'm just gonna do it loose for all of them and then tighten all of them at once. Once all the screws are in. So there's like a method to the madness. Oh man. Okay. So sometimes it can be a pain in the ass because you're screwing with such a fat screwdriver, they can't really fit the tight spaces. So sometimes it will take some more time. I left with 3 screws, so you guys have to wait. Okay. Tight spaces. What? Usually for my case considerations, I would like to have a little bit more space on the top of the case because you will have to fit like the CPU power cables through the top. So if you don't have enough space to work around, that's gonna be a it's gonna be a problem when you're trying to install the whole board into the case itself with all the cables and stuff. And especially if you have a fat screwdriver, you can't really fit that into that space just to screw in the board. Okay, this is Titan. I want it to be tight but not overly tight, because that would dig into the board itself from the front and from the back. Not really good for the board itself, damaging the board. And I don't expect this rig to move around that much, so it doesn't have to be overly tight as well. Okay, should be stable. Right now, everything is done. And it shouldn't fall off, right? Should be stable enough. Well, I mean, like that's not like the definitive proof of like stability, but 9 screws should be enough. Now we need to install the power supply, do the cabling, do the routing, and then we'll be done. Right. So let me reinstall back the back fan. Let me see what's a good way of routing. I want it to exhaust. I want to put it like this so that the cable goes you know, it takes the shortest distance. Wait, this is black and black, damn it. Yeah, so I want the cables to go to the back with the least amount of travel in between, so that I have more play with the cable, so I can route it all the way to the bottom of the board. So this is like the optimal like orientation, where this is facing the back of the case. And since I have some play over here, I can either move it up or down. You guys can't really see that well. Okay, show you guys. It's freaking dark. Right, so I can either put it like way below, or I can move it up. So it really depends on you know, what kind of airflow setup we want to have. I want to align it with the CPU cooler, so I'll put it in the middle, I suppose. Yeah. So it's not as easy as you know, everyone says just build a computer. There's a lot of considerations going on around. But once you take into account, like, you know, all these considerations, you're technically more or less good to go. Not that difficult once you know what's the stuff to look up for. Alright, so I'm giving it a little bit of play so that I can move this thing up and down. So just to align it with the CPU cooler, and then I can screw it in place. The fans are being you know, screwed onto the case with a standard Phillips. So if there's a need to do some cleaning, it's easily just, you know, detachable and clean. Okay, so back and down. Let's pipe this through. This should be able to reach the bottom. Just nice. It came out just nice. Just nice. I mean, I'm a little bit like stretching it a little bit, but it should fit nicely. I just need to orientate the cable, and we should be good. Yeah, just nice, just freaking perfect. Okay, so next one, actually the big one is the power supply. Right, all the cables are already plugged in, which is pretty good from our testing. Just need to insert it on the back. Don't take that out of context. You guys won't be able to see it. It's like I'm doing some magic right here. Okay. So I'll show you guys in a bit once I put this in. Okay. Oh, now this thing is heavy. Right. Everything down. So basically, just slide the power supply in. Have some play around here. I need to align it to the back. Let me see. Make sure the cables are not tangled. Make sure it's flush to the back, because I would need to screw it in. One common mistake is that people usually put their power supply in without thinking of the orientation. You need to make sure that the fan is facing whatever like exhaust is supposed to be at. So for this case, it's the bottom. So fan face bottom. It's no rocket science, right? I mean, in this case, you technically can put it on the top as well, since it's vented for the route, but I would recommend against so, because you don't want that much of dust going into your power supply anyways. I mean, like I said, modern power supplies should be able to do their own cooling. Doesn't really need a lot of external cooling, so try to keep it clean as much as possible. Right, let's align this. Make sure that it's flush all the way at the back, and we can actually see the screw holes. Okay. Once we have confirmed, then we can screw it in, and at the same time, we can clear the box. So the more you build, the more stuff you can get off the table. I mean, that's naturally makes sense. It's good to keep the box as well, so that you can, if you want to resale or whatnot, it's there. And it's also good that you are keeping like all your spare stuff as well, because there are spare screws, spare cables and whatnot. You can keep all inside your box as well. Alright, time to screw this in. Same strategy as the motherboard. Just screw. Ooh. And then tighten after. Yeah, looking at the statistics, I do have one concurrent viewer. Yeah, thanks so much for your support. Else I'll be talking to the wall right here. But it's good, I'm kind of cataloging all these builds, so that there's at least some kind of countability, and also getting into this like streaming thing as well. It's a collection of my builds. It's more or less like a portfolio kinda, and I kind of like to teach people on things that I kind of learned over the years from building, so that this is more accessible to anyone else, especially today. Used to be much worse back in the days. It's much easier now, and like it's a hobby for me, right? So time to route the cables. Right, we want to start off with the CPU one. Motherboard one is because we're all congested with all the other cables, so I don't want to do the motherboard one first. I want to do the CPU one first. Let's separate out the cables from the front I/O, the fans, all that. We don't need to care about it. What is this? This is the CPU one, and this is also the other CPU one. Right, we want to make sure that they are not like tangled, so let's separate them out. Okay, so they're long enough to reach the back, I mean to the front, but we want them to be attached to something, or at least like hooked onto something. And I also want to make sure that the clip's orientation is correct, because they don't have these like clips on the top of them. Hard to see, I know, but they do have clips, so the orientation on the front side must be correct as well. And I have to think of that orientation when I put this cable through. And the clips are on the top side, which means it has to go in like this. So if you can see, it's clip on the top basically. So it has to go in like this, which means if I want to bend it the other way, it has to be like this. Yeah. So okay, doable. I want to route so that I can tie to this tie point over here, and many tie points on top as well. So let's do it this way. This is for the right one, this is for the left one. And this is why I say, you know, having space on the top gives me much more freedom in trying to move around and attach the cables. Else I don't really have a lot of space to move around. And fat thumbs. I don't really like bending the cables, but you know, cables are meant to be bent, but not that much. They have there's a limit to how much you can bend, and I don't want to abuse that limit. Okay, they're both in. So once these cables are in, we are able to, like, you know, pull them out a little bit. I want to give it some slack so that it's not that, you know, bendy at the front. So you can see we have a lot of slack. We can tie them to the back side like this. We can secure them down here as well. You know, keep it simple. Yeah, but we'll do that after that. Because we still have these. Maybe I'll tie it down now to here. And I'm not gonna use a zip tie, I'm gonna use a twist tie because they're removable. And they have less risk of you cutting your own cables if you're trying to remove them. Right, let's put this like this. Okay, let's do a loose tie over here. Okay. Let me see if I can improve the lighting conditions. Maybe set the exposure higher or something. Let me adjust. Else it's all black on black. Damn it. Oh. Interesting. Oh. Hey. Oh. Hey. Ooh. Alright, back to this. Let's tie this like loose. Can this still reach? Kinda hard now. Yep. So I have to release this because the fan cable is unable to reach the bottom. So with that said, I want this to go behind the power supply cables. And the power supply cables, we can tighten it in already because we kind of know. I'm gonna stick this to the back. Yep, because we kind of know that we won't be able to, or we won't be tying anything else over here anymore. So let's secure this. Check it inside, and we're kind of set for this already. Unless if we want to tie in another thing below here, which is kind of doable, but I'm not gonna do that right now as of yet. It's kind of interesting that they have a little standoff over here. Not really sure why, but I'll leave it in. Right. So next one we got the GPU one, which we don't really care now. What we want to care is about the 24 pin big boy. Right, we have to feed this into the front. The 24 pin is around here. I have to fit it in through here. Clip is on this side, so I have to do. It has to go in like this, clip facing this side, or like this. So it has to spin around and then do this. Now I wonder if the cable is like, you know, malleable enough. Spin this. No, I mean it's not bad. It's malleable enough. Got it. Okay. Yeah. So you can see there's actually quite a lot of play. And if we want to reduce the amount of like cables out at the front, we can actually squeeze a little bit more to the back. And one of the bad parts of the case is that, you know, is venting the bottom. So all of this will get dusty one way or another. Doesn't really matter whether you have like filters and stuff. Nah, it's still gonna get dusty. Trust me. So given that we have a lot of play here, I want to see what I can do to kind of reduce the bendiness of this. Well, I suppose I can do that. Basically, I just squeezed it all the way to touch the other side of the shroud, and then this thing will be cut straight now. Yeah. And the best part is, I remember we have the Velcro from the power supply, so we can use the Velcro to secure all of these cables behind. And since it's Velcro, it's easily removable. So it makes for, like, you know, great cable management. So we can easily remove stuff when we need to. Okay, good. Now, since we only have like these 3 cables, this is fairly easy to install. So I'm just gonna leave this up for the last. What I want to deal with now is all the fans, because all 4 of them are going in the board, which I like to, because that will give you more like I wouldn't say freedom, more of more control. Yes, you have more control of over each fan. Because they're all plugged into the motherboard, and you know, it's not plugged into a port, a hub. You plug all the fans into a hub, you only have one control, and then that will only control like all of them at one go. But let's say, for example, if you want one fan to be slower, one fan to be faster, because like, for example, you don't want the bottom fan to be that fast because it's, you know, causing a lot of dust below, then you can control it because you connected it to different control ports. That's the whole idea of, you know, I like putting all the cables into the board itself as much as possible. Alright, so I've alluded to just now that I don't really like the cable of these, because as you can see, if I angle it a little bit here, not sure whether you guys will be able to see this. There's a hole over here, inside here. I can poke my finger out. Yeah, so there's a hole over here which I like to feed like the fan cables through, so that it doesn't go through the grommet, so that you won't see the cable, like, you know, traveling to the grommet. It doesn't really make sense. So I like to go through like this little hole over here, which means I have to reorientate all of them. You know. Well, technically one of them, which is the top fan, because the top fan, the cable is coming from the top, and I want it to come through this hole, so I need to spin it around. At the same time, if I'm able to squeeze in the cables, I would do so. Okay, very good. We can squeeze them in. But at least for now, I don't know whether it will get more difficult as I pass in more cables. Because I have to pass all of them through. Even the bottom ones. Yeah. 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 Okay, good. Good. But I want this at the top because this is for the top fan. And then the bottom one, to feed it back. Then pull it through. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now everything is true. Very good. The order doesn't really matter, but I kind of like to have control over it. So this is like the bottommost one. I mean, I can see from the length of it. Then this is the middle one. Then this is the top one. And now to place everything back. Well, just the top fan back. Secure them in. Alright, then it's time to do the cabling. So we know that we have a lot of stuff. And we know that the ports are below. So we rock. We need to split it into two. We put the back one first. Oh, wrong orientation. It has to go in like this. Because the horns are facing the bottom. Okay, so it's already plugged in, as you can see. This cable like runs all the way down. Yeah, I don't really like the Molex edition. Technically I can snip it off, but I like to keep it in here. Jeez. Alright, which one's the shortest? This one should be the bottommost one. So let me think. Usually you will switch case fans more often, so this one should be on top of whatever power supply that is. And orientation again, horns facing down. Like this. Spin it. Okay, that's in. This is the top one. Top one, I would like it to go to the second port from the back. So another pet peeve of mine is that you have a lot of space on the top, you don't have a lot of space on the bottom. So this is making this like kind of hard for me. Alright, now the cabling at the back looks like super horrendous. We'll clean that up in a bit. Let's do the USB 3. USB 3 is around the middle, so technically we can go in through like below here. Yep, it's directly around here, so the horns are facing this way, so it has to go in like this. Black on black and yeah, it has to go in like this. It's like a U shape, N shape, or right, let's feed this in. And of course, I know that you guys, you know, can't really see what's happening on at the front. Don't worry, I will reveal soon enough once I get all of this done, I suppose. This is the HD audio. Usually it will be at the back, like back left bottom corner. So I will need to feed it to the back. Now, so the problem now is I technically can feed it through here, but I have to bend it correctly because it's kind of tight down here. Especially with the power supply in the place, but you know, managed to feed this through. Alright, alrighty tidy. What's left is the front I/O. All of this I will tie around the back here with some Velcro. Okay. Scheiße. This one is a little bit bendy. I'm gonna remove it and unbendy it. Okay. Front I/O should come out from here. So that it? Yeah, that it. Okay. Right. So the back is super messy, but have a look at the front. Ta-da! It's clean. Well, nothing too jutting out and whatnot, but I have to tidy up the back, sadly. So let me just take some time to tidy up the back. Drag this up. Yeah. So this is where usually the rearrangement comes in, because when you're looking at this, there will be more optimal ways to plot things around. Can I make this work? Probably can't. I have to pick up the USB 3. The shit. Now we're gonna have a problem, man. Right, we have encountered a real problem. The USB 3.0 port just came off. I mean, I can squeeze it back in, it's no problem, but it's just pain in the ass. How would I? Ah, yes. Okay. Good. Everything is down here. Good. This one we will bend and put like this. Okay, I'm gonna use some Velcro. Crap. Okay, Velcro. Huh? Tie this to something. Alright. Now that I got my anchor, we can tie effectively. Okay, now it looks way better in the back. Now I have to solve the USB 3 problem. But I've forgotten to give it some slack. Onto the front. God damn it. This is a bad idea. I need to remove this. Seriously? Hmm. Yep. So this is the problem right here, and the black and black again. So the USB 3 port, or at least the connector housing just came out. So I have to squeeze this back in again. Not really sure why this is so tight. Have to check it a little bit. It can be that the hooks are too strong, or the indents here are a little bit too much. Anyways, this is only a housing, so pins are not damaged, so I just need to squeeze this back in. Hopefully I don't poke myself. Alright. As you can see, the port is all the way in. Where is it? That is it. This one. Goddamn. Yep, this one right here. So the housing is back in. It's just that it's a little bit stupid in my opinion. But the housing will come out. They need a better latching system for this. Because now it's too tight. It's way too tight. Alright, so USB 3 back in again. I don't want to stress this too much. I'm gonna give it some slack. Right. So technically what we're left is with the GPU. And after that we are technically done. I still might want to do some tidying up on the back end here. But we'll see, we'll see. Perfect. Alright. So GPU, we know that this is a 2-slot card and it slots in at the second and third. So I'm just gonna remove the backing for the second and the third only. There we go. Good, good, good. We're making good time. What time is it? It's only 2:30. 2 hours and 30. And we're almost done. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I still have to retest this for the second round to make sure I didn't like screw anything up. Not literally. Okay. Out. GPU in. I will have to clean this though. Might have a stream this weekend or something, but probably not this stable. Tidy tidy. Right, this is in. And I want the power cable to go from the top because there's more cooling at the bottom. I don't want to block that. So I'll feed in through one of these holes here. Or maybe I can go from, nah, not the side. There's cooling on the top as well. Then again, going from the bottom might be beneficial. Decisions. Yeah, maybe going from the bottom. It goes in like this. I have to. Okay. Okay, just drag whatever I need. Make sure it's not bendy enough. At least it's not too bendy, so I have to extend out of the way. Okay, so I got a firm grasp of how long I technically need, and then the rest I can just velcro it up. No big issues. Down you. Alright, all's good. Build done. Need to retest again. Whoa. Come on, man, come on. 0, 1. Keyboard. Actually, I need to show you guys like how it looks. Oh, Jesus. It's not too fancy, it's just black. You know, with some RGB elements here and there. Not gonna blow your mind. self-builds. Yeah, monitor again. HDMI. Pulse on. Static. On. Ready. There we go. Good shot, mate. Good shot. Right, so everything's done. Fans all operational. Fans blowing. Kind of slow. It's not optimized. This requires cleaning. This thing seems to be working. Everything is moving very slowly. I mean, it's not stressing the whole thing, so I guess it's good. Is there any temperature monitoring? Temperature monitoring now is at 41 degrees. Doing good on cooling. Kind of stable. Nothing's going crazy. Yes. I guess that's all. Build this. I need to package this up. I need to update the BIOS, install the OS, and most likely I won't like bore you guys with all these details. But I'll do this all on my own time. And I guess more or less the build has come to an end. There is no need for me to close up the panels. Well, there's only one need for me to close up the front panel and to put back all the mesh in and stuff like that. But all in all, maybe I can give some advisory warning or some advice, I would say, if you know people have missed it. So the cleaning of this case is very easy. Front panel is easily removable. Just remove it, clean it. This is metal, so don't clean it with water. Just clean it with a brush, blow it out or something. Vacuum cleaner doesn't really work that well. It's double mesh. There's also a mesh at the back. Yeah, on top of the metal mesh at the front. So the back is not really removable. It's kind of like stuck onto here. So you might have some dust trapped in between. So it might be better to, like, you know, do the vacuum on the outside here and also do the vacuum on the inside here as well. Just brush it out, blow it out, whatever. Remember, this is removable. Don't do it over here. Yeah, don't do it over here, or else all the dust will go into your system. And for anything inside the system, just use a dry wipe, wipe up all the dust on the inside. For the fins, just use a brush, like a regular paintbrush. You can just brush it out, brush everything. For the fans, it's easy. Use a dry wipe, wipe the fins. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, there wouldn't be any dust on the top because we don't have any ventilation on the top. We don't have fans or like radiators or whatnot. But in case if you do have them, do the same thing. Rinse it through water. Same with the bottom one. Sometimes the power supply area will be very dusty. Just rinse it out with water again. These are non-metal, so you can rinse it out with water and then make sure that they're dry before you actually put them back in again. Alright. And this thing is snap fit. Well, not really snap fit, more like I don't really know what this is called, but this is like fit, I guess. Nope. Just to fit this thing back in, the handle is like this little like cutout over here belongs at the bottom. As you can see, there's none on the top. So cutout goes on the bottom, fit it back in, fit the holes. It should snap fit. There we go, clean. Right. This one, as I said before, They fit at the bottom. There are flaps that you can fit this in. It's not sliding, but you have to squeeze it in somehow. Yeah, it's not that hard to remove it. It's not that hard to put back in. Then for the side panels, easy. Slide it in, screw it at the back, and you're good to go. The screws are self-retained, so you won't really lose them. It's stuck to the panels itself, so not an issue. Right. And I think that's all for the build, I guess. What time is it? It's 2:41. It's pretty good. I've done good on good time, although I have a lot of like after work to do. Where's the mouse? Hey, alright. Let's see. Right. So if you guys have any questions or whatnot, just put it in the put it in the comment section of this live recording. This live recording will be on the channel still. I'm thinking of doing like some other educational content about like maintaining your rig, what to look out for, stuff like that. Some interesting stuff with 3D printing as well. I'm not very good at video editing, so that would take some time, obviously. Then yeah, thank you guys for watching, whoever is still here, and I guess I'll see you guys next time when I build something else, I suppose, or when I talk about something else, I suppose. So right, see you guys, man.